Now I'd like to call up the first of our student speakers, Anna Kahn.
I think this is going to be the first and last time I'm going to be speaking at the head of a church, but I'm going to relish the opportunity. Before I decided to become an English major, I faced a lot of pressure from my friends about its benefits. The consensus was, Stanford is so expensive, you have to select a major with value. What in the world will you do with an English degree? I never really understood the definition of this value, but apparently, you exchange your time here for a degree that is marketable. Through trials and tribulations, you are awarded this degree and you are well on your way. I am from Lahore, Pakistan, where the literacy rate for women is 36%. That means 64% of women cannot read or write in any language. In fact, only 8% of Pakistanis can read and write in English. So at first glance, English offered me nothing. But really, it offered me everything. Let me tell you why. 2 years ago, Pakistan was changing at a rapid pace. It was falling prey to instability and political corruption. The acceleration of turmoil was transforming the day-to-day lives of my family and friends, till one day, Pakistan no longer resembled the country I called home. Instead, I saw people bound in religious chains. I heard young men propagating hate under the banner of Islam. I saw a country that had lost its finesse, its strength, and its deeply ingrained spirituality to violence. Everyone looked to me for answers. What is happening? What do you think? The more they asked, the further away I felt from home, so I responded with silence. The English degree, however, was not accepting of silence. You were a product of what you wrote and what you said. Nothing else mattered. There were days I would squirm in my seat during a 3-hour writing workshop, uncomfortable with the intensity of discussion, the nakedness of the moment. English taught me about the power of words and the resounding defeat of silence. There was strength in conveying emotion through poetry and prose. Suddenly, all I could do was write. All the discussions I should have had in the open, I would have around a classroom table. We would discuss everything: socioeconomic status, religion, love, imperialism, violence, political change. We studied William Wordsworth on his Westminster Bridge, the embodiment of a powerful alienation. Through him, we count not on taking pleasure from normalcy, but instead to venture out from time to time into an anti-society, to take pleasure in the unusual, the quiet, the serene. We studied Alfred Tennyson in Memoriam and understood his conflicting emotions toward nature. Were we really helpless against a nature red in tooth and claw? Or did we have command over it? Where did religion fit in amongst scientific discovery? And of course, my favorite line from all the poetry I have ever read, a line that I think encompasses my time at Stanford. Oh, brightening glance, how can we know the dancer from the dance? As Stanford students, do we have a tendency to get lost in what we do and forget who we are? Are our actions synonymous with who we are as people? All these central questions emerged from the literature we read. In short, every day we saw ourselves in these poets. English helped bridge the divide between home and Stanford for me, personally. In writing about the situation, I was bringing to light a part of Pakistan no one saw on the news. As future leaders and change makers, I have learned that we must speak for those who cannot. We must encourage dialogue and analysis and discussion, even when it is uncomfortable, and especially when there is no final answer. Silence is easy, but it is not comforting. We must write what is difficult to put into words. Because when it is hard, when you squirm in your chair, that is when it matters. That is when it leads to change. And that is what our education here is all about. Not once did I fear going into an interview as an English major. As an investment analyst, I could put in words the results of a changing economy, while economics majors stumbled upon graphs and data. As an intern in a political consulting firm, I could consolidate pages and pages of information into one succinct portrayal of the situation at hand. And simply as a human being, the ability to communicate, to look past race and gender, is something this degree has taught me how to do. Everything we analyze as English majors, we analyze in context. Relationships, success, obstacles, context is key. Even the simple structure of a poem has taught us all something about being a human being. Stanzas taught me about compartmentalization. Line breaks taught me when to let go. Poetic meter taught me about the comfort of familiarity. Words have shaped so much of our world. Every political event can be reduced to a soundbite because we are engineered to run on rhetoric and emotion. The ability to produce such emotion, to alter events with our words, is powerful beyond measure. Words are inevitably our lifeline. So I go back to the question everyone asked me when I declared my major. What in the world will you do with an English degree? So here's the secret. Today, as a graduating senior at Stanford, I say we got the best deal. The body of literature that we have studied is a product of the human race. In understanding it, we understand not only each other, but also ourselves. So here's a question for all those who doubted your decision to study English at Stanford. What in the world can't I do with an English degree? Thank you.